Hey guys, it's Jenny here. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be starting a new week of reading vlogs. So I am about to go post last week's right after I film this, but I wanted to film it and get it out of the way so I could go about my night while my video's uploading. Oh, I forgot to change my clock when time savings went, but I want to say it's like, well, last time I checked, I'm gonna say it's like just past 7. It's about 7 o'clock on, damn, I don't know the date either. Let's double check. Okay. Yeah, it's 7:04 on Wednesday, January 19th. And yeah, I don't know when I started to just like unanimously start doing these middle of the week reading vlogs. I did it last week too. Started on a Tuesday. Anywho, last week was very successful. So despite me being down for the count for like 2 to 3 days, I still somehow managed to get all of my books done that were on my TBR. And I really don't feel like stopping. So ignore my hair. It's quite curly actually now that I'm out of the shower. So let's get into the TBR for this week. I have another 4 books on my TBR. It's shocking, I know. So we're gonna get into the physical reads first, and then I actually do want to look while I'm on here with you guys to see if I can find the one on audio, because that's gonna be my audiobook. So the first one is Survive the Night by Riley Sagar, and this is their most recent release, I guess. This was released when? I want to say in like August, July of 2021. Yeah, I think so, around that time. So I don't really want to go into more about this, but basically it's this girl named, yeah, it's about this girl named Charlie, whose best friend was murdered by this campus killer. And then this girl is in the, Charlie is in this passenger seat of a car, and she starts suspecting that the man she has hitched a ride with may actually be the campus killer. So I'm kind of excited. I heard, okay, so there's another book of theirs on my TBR called Home Before Dark. Yeah, Home Before Dark. And I've heard that that one's really good. So even though I usually like to go in publication order, in this case I'm breaking that because I don't want to be so hyped up from Home Before Dark that this disappoints me. I want to read this for what it is now, and then go into Home Before Dark and just kind of have my mind blown, if that makes sense. So this is on the list, and it's a decently short read, so I don't think I'll have any issues with this. Next, we're actually switching things up with a poetry collection. I haven't read poetry since that Misha Collins book, but before that, I haven't read poetry in quite a long time. So I looked at my little new poetry nook that I set up here, and I'm like, huh, which one of these have I not read? And I don't recall reading this, and this is Please Don't Go Before I Get Better by Madison Kuhn. And I don't know, it was one of the ones that I definitely knew that I haven't read, and this honestly might hurt my heart right now, but we're gonna read it anyways. There's a reason I have poetry, so I just need to start getting them read. And this is another read that's going to be super short. It's poetry, so maybe I can do like half at a time, like morning and night. I can probably finish this in a day. Like I'll read half of it when I wake up, and then read the other half before I go to bed to implement that new routine that I wanted to get into that I talked about last vlog. So yeah. Next, I'm going to give you guys a pause and you can guess what I might possibly be putting on this TBR. Do you have your guesses in? It's Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Surprise! I know, we're shocked. November 9 did a number on me. So much so that I was like, this is the other book that I'm constantly hearing about from hers. I've already read the other 3 that I'm always hearing about. It ends with us, Verity, and November 9. This is the last one that I hear about all the time. And now I'm picking it up. This focuses on, it says, it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. So they come up with this no strings attached arrangement, and he only has 2 rules for her, which is never ask about the past, and don't expect a future. And, you know, obviously one of them catches feelings, both of them catch feelings. I don't know. I did receive a small spoiler for this book. Thank you, TikTok. We know how that went last time in the last vlog, so. I did already get a spoiler for this, so it's becoming a running theme with these books that I get a wee bit spoiled, which sucks, but I don't know what to expect from this. This again looks like a pretty short read. 320, no. 322 pages. And then finally, it is time to log into my Scribd. Actually, I'm going to check through my library first, so I stop using so many Scribd credits. And of course, it needs to be re-downloaded. I'll just look on Scribd while that downloads. Wow. I struck out on Scribd, so let's check my library. I kind of foiled my plan, because I always want to have oh my god. We're gonna place a hold on this. We'll see if I get it. If not, I can get an ebook of it, and that's fine. Okay, so the other book that I originally wanted to use as my audiobook is not currently available on Scribd, and I put it on hold in my library. It says it's about a 4-week wait. There's one person currently reading it and another person waiting, so I guess we'll see. And that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Everybody seems to love this book, and I have not yet read it. So this says, the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It's simply there when yesterday it was not. Within the black and white striped canvas 10 is an utterly unique experience full of breathtaking amazements. It's called Les Cirques. I know how to say this. Les Cirques des Rêves. I don't know how to say that one. And it is only open at night. But behind the scenes, a fierce competition is underway. A duel between 2 young magicians, Celia and Marco. I love the name Celia. Celia and Marco, who have been trained since childhood expressly for this purpose by their mercurial instructors. Unbeknownst to both of them, this is a game in which only one can be left standing. Amidst the high stakes, Celia and Marco soon tumble headfirst into love, setting off a domino effect of dangerous consequences and leaving the lives of everyone from the performers to the patrons hanging in the balance. This is a well-loved book, and I did not even know I owned it for the longest time. And then I saw it on my shelves when I was redoing them, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So I put it in my little TBR bin to pick from when I'm looking for weekly books. So its time has come. We're gonna try it out, and hopefully I can get the audio, because I like having at least one audiobook, especially if it's one of the longer ones. This one is pretty thick. $512 pages? Oh my god. It does not even look that big. Wow, okay. So that is this week's TBR. If by some miracle I'm able to finish those, I do have a couple of other selections to choose from. And yeah, so I will check in later. I have a vlog to upload, even though it's Wednesday. This vlog will be going until Thursday, you know, since I'm starting it at night, you know. And yeah, so I will check in later. Hey guys, so it is actually 11:30 on Friday the 21st. So yesterday, the past 2 nights have been a little bit rough for me. It's kind of like what happened last week, where I would just have like no energy and I would be feeling kind of wonky. And honestly, I was a little bit of a dumbass, and I thought that your blood pressure and your blood sugars were the same thing. So this whole time I've been obsessively checking my blood pressure. And sometimes, you know, like it's high, but it's like relatively normal. So last night I Googled, are blood pressure and blood sugars the same thing? And Google basically said, no, you're dumb. So I said, okay, then what are the symptoms of low blood sugar? And it's basically everything I've been feeling. So last night I was like freaking out. I didn't even know like what was going on. Nothing was helping. So that's when I looked that up and I saw all the symptoms. And I'm like, oh. So just as, you know, out of curiosity, it said if you suspect that you have low blood sugar, go and drink something really sugary, preferably high sugar juice or something. And sure as shit, I drank that cup of juice and I felt right as rain. So I was kind of gone. I still got my whole to-do list done, but I didn't really have any energy besides that. But today I woke up and started out reading. So I started Please Don't Go Before I Get Better by Madison Kuhn, and I am on page 75. This is all right. There's been a couple of poems that I've highlighted, but it's not like blowing me out of the water and completely sucking me in. I'm gonna predict that it'll probably be about like a 3-star. It's just like middle of the road for me. But yeah, I am going to get up and I have a couple things I gotta get done today. And yeah, I have a birthday party to go to tomorrow. And I don't know what else. But yeah, I figured I would give you guys an update. I have mostly just been laying in my bed, being tired, playing cottage living on The Sims, and freaking out over the fact that I didn't know that my Sims chickens would be dying as well. So that was tragic for me. That was very tragic for me indeed. Is it snowing, lady? What are you doing? No, you may not. Get down. You may not. Oh, is it snowing? Yeah? It's okay. No, look at the snow. You don't like it? You don't like it? It's okay. We can go in. Look at the snow. Okay. Hey guys, so it is currently 11:14 on Saturday, January 22nd. I just got back from a birthday party about an hour ago. It was little Lexi's birthday. She is now 8. Which is crazy to me because Leah's about to be 3 in a couple of weeks here. Almost like a month exactly. Anywho, I do have a small reading update. It hasn't been the best week for me. I'm having some health issues that I'm currently working through. But I did actually finish Please Don't Go Before I Get Better by Madison Kuhn. And I decided to rate this a 3. There were a couple lines that like really stuck out to me, but overall this just felt like, I don't know. like, not what I'm normally used to reading in poetry. It, like, I have such a hard time critiquing poetry because it's like, this is somebody's, like, most vulnerable thoughts. Like, obviously, any novel is, like, a piece of that person, but, like, poetry seems extra vulnerable for some reason because it's not fiction. It's, like, you know, it was just, like, middle of the road for me, though. There were a couple very memorable things, but I felt like getting lost because at first I thought like she was talking about multiple different guys in the poems, and then like at the end I'm like, okay, wait, was she talking about the same guy the whole time? Like I'm confusion. I don't know. So for the rest of my TBR, I have Ugly Love, Survive the Night, and Night Circus. So here's the thing. I have the ebook for Ugly Love, but I wanted to save that for last because I knew that it was going to be the one that I liked the most, probably. And I am still on hold for the ebook for Survive the Night and the audiobook for Night Circus. So, I don't know where I'm going with this. Because I kind of wanted to read Survive the Night next, but... oh no, my bookmark is coming unsealed. That's not, no bueno. So I might just start Survive the Night anyways and see how that goes. I should see if I can find it on Script. They usually don't charge me credits for ebooks because I'm waiting for it for my library, but I really wanted the ebook for it. Just because I do a lot of my best reading in bed. Of course not. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. So, I did not find the audiobook, but I found a PDF on Scribd, so we all set. I'm gonna start Survive the Night tonight. Hopefully I don't get too freaked out. I should be fine. But anyways, yeah, that's really all I got for now. So I will probably check in with you guys in the morning. My lighting is all kinds of whacked out right now. Let me see what I can do about this. I don't like that. That'll have to work. So anyways, it is like 11:40 on the 23rd. So as promised, so last night I did start Survive the Night because I wasn't feeling good. I didn't get to bed until like 2:30. And I ended up making it to page 103, so I am almost halfway. It says I'm like over 30% done, and this is pretty good so far. Honestly though, part of me is like, why would you ever get into a car with a stranger when there's a serial killer going around? Why would you ever do that? Especially if you had a perfectly perfect boyfriend waiting to give you a ride back home if you just waited an extra 10 days. I'm like, the math ain't mathin' for me personally, and I guess that might be like part of why people are liking Home Before Dark more than Survive the Night. It's just because like in this character's shoes, I never would have freaking done that. Like, I get that it was like the 90s and whatever, but like that's even more dangerous because they didn't have like cell phones back then to just like call whenever or like anything like that. Like, she has to stop at a payphone, and I'm like, the math is not mathin', but it's good so far. But another thing, like, we are having like an unreliable narrator kind of, because like she calls them movies in her head, but she is suffering from like hallucinations. that she's had ever since she was a kid when her parents passed, which none of this is a spoiler, I don't think. It all gets explained like relatively soon into the book, or if not in the description. So like you don't really know like what to believe. Like you don't know like, was that a figment of one of her hallucinations, or like is this really happening, you know? So it's like, I don't know, I have a hard time feeling like bad for her, because like I never would have gotten into a car with a stranger personally. Like, I don't know, there's just so many red flags that she deliberately ignored, and I'm like, Miss Girl. Really? So I have a couple things to do today. I have to trim a couple of rabbit's nails, switch my rocks, and just do a couple chores. Most of my chores all consist of either my racks or in the barn, so I have a pretty low-key day ahead of me. Honestly, I think I could probably finish that today if I really put my mind to it. And yeah, the only other thing I think we're going to be doing is a grocery order, so I have to put my groceries in the app, and then when it gets here I'll have to put it away. But yeah, I figured I would give you guys an update. Ooh, an update. I do have to get outside though and take care of the bunnies and trim nails and stuff. There's an update. I will probably check in later, because I am assuming that I will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, finishing this today. And yeah, so I will check in later. Hey guys, so it is 8:30 on Sunday the 23rd, and I am pleased to announce that I have just finished Survive the Night by Riley. Oh, what is with this lighting? I have just finished Survive the Night by Riley Sagar. I know, it's crazy. I think I'm going to settle for a 4 on this. It was good. Very misleading, honestly, I will say that. However, I was able to guess every single plot twist, which is not very common for me, honestly. I'm pretty dumb. So it was kind of weird for me that I was able to guess the plot twists, especially in a Riley Sagar. Shout out to Jocelyn for letting me spoil the book to her, because I was going like mad wanting to rant about my theories that ended up coming true. So thank you for letting me spoil this book for you. But honestly, I really did like the ending, which is why I'm going to give it a 4. Like, all of the motives seem to connect and all of that. Am I disappointed that the killer was who I thought it was? Yes. Am I a little bit disappointed that all of my theories came true? Yes. But am I also satisfied that I was correct? Yes. So it's really like a toss-up in the air. I don't want to rate it a 3, because that just like wouldn't be fair. Because I genuinely did enjoy it. I practically read it in one sitting. But it lacked the flair that Riley Sagar usually gives. So it's going to be 4 for this one. I'm still not mad about it. I'm glad that I read it. I actually enjoyed it. It definitely amped up my love for Nirvana once again. If you know, you know. And yeah, so tonight all I have left is I have to switch my rocks again, and then take a shower and prepare for my job interview in the morning, which I'm getting exceedingly nervous about, because like I don't really have time to prepare for it in the morning. I just kind of like wake up and go to it. A little bit nervous about that, but I'm hoping that it goes well. And yeah, I might start something else tonight. I'm not sure. I'm really wishing that I had the audiobook. Ugh. Still a 2-week wait. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm either going to start Ugly Love or try to read Night Circus physically. I might just read Night Circus physically, I don't know. Or Ugly Love, I could get that done quick and just, you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I gotta take care of my bunnies again and get a couple things done. It is only 8:30, so that's good. But I finished the book, so half of my TBR is done. And it's only Sunday, so that's pretty neat. Anywho, there's an update, and I will check in with you guys later. Hey guys, so it is currently like 9:06, so we have to leave in like 25 minutes or so. I have a job interview, and we are getting a snowstorm, so that is festive. So last night I didn't end up starting anything new because it was Euphoria night, and I forgot until after I turned off the camera. So this is the fit. I put on a couple of rings. I have not worn any jewelry or makeup in months, so this is kind of foreign to me. Anywho, and I haven't worn any clothes that aren't pajamas, that are like business casual, since I quit my job at TJ Maxx. So this is a whole moment. But I think what I want to do is I want to try to read this physically and like give it a shot physically until I wait for the audiobook. And if I don't end up liking it, like if I can't get into it physically, I will wait for the audiobook, and then I will pick up Ugly Love, because I truly don't think I'm gonna have any issues with this. Honestly, I might just end up reading that today in like one sitting or something. Guess we'll see. But today we are getting our groceries delivered right now. The person is here dropping them off, and then I'm gonna head out to my job interview. I have a package to send out today. And then I just have to call and schedule a doctor's appointment. And then when I get home, I have to take care of the buns. So, should be a pretty low-key day. We're gonna check to see if there's any updates on my hold. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys watch Euphoria. But if you do, is Lexi older than Cassie, or is she younger? Because I could have sworn that Lexi was older, but now I'm like, wait, is she younger? Excuse me. Anywho, I will check in later. I will let you guys know how my interview went. Fingers crossed, and I will check in with the reading update a little bit later as well. Hey guys. So it is just about 2:40, and I have had a very long day of being a big girl, and I don't like it. I had a job interview, I had to ship out packages, I had to make a doctor's appointment by myself. I have not gone to the doctor since like 2016, and I had to like, and then I had to call and book Sadie a spaying appointment, and like had to pay a deposit and everything. So it's been a very big day. I'm hoping that the interview went well. Oddly enough, she asked me about my past jobs, one of which did not end well. TJ Maxx ended fine, but like, she didn't ask me about the job I thought she was going to. So that was a smidge nerve-wracking. I really hope I get the job though, because it seems like a really nice place to work. And after a long day of being a responsible adult, I think I'm in the mood for something easy. So I think I'm actually just going to read Ugly Love today. It's only 2:40, and I have nothing else to do the rest of the day. Like, literally nothing. I am so caught up on all of my chores. Like, I just finished all of the rabbits' nails today, so all of the rabbits have their nails trimmed. Cages are clean, bunnies are taken care of, litter box is done, cats are taken care of. Like, I've ran out of things to get done around the house. So, I think that there's no better time like the present than to eat my pomegranate seeds and read a Colleen Hoover. So, I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday. That job said I should hear back on Wednesday if I got hired or not. Hopefully. And Sadie's getting spayed on March 3rd. So, lots is happening. But yeah. I figured I would let you guys know how that went. And let you know that I finally did decide on a book. This won't take me long. I'm just going to get it over with. And maybe while I'm reading Ugly Love, the audiobook for Night Circus will come in. And if it doesn't, it's only Monday and this vlog goes until Thursday. So I'm perfectly fine. So yeah. I will check in when I have an update on Ugly Love. I'm kind of scared, but kind of excited. Hi. It's 7:45. So, I've taken multiple breaks since I last checked in with you guys, but I have made it to chapter 20, page 186. No surprise there. I'm loving it. Is anybody surprised? No. Damn. Anyways, I'm trying not to get too attached though, because I've seen a spoiler for this book. Thank you, TikTok. You seeing a running trend of me getting spoiled for Colleen Hoover books via TikTok? Which is annoying because it's going really well so far. And yeah, it's only 7:30, so I will be finishing this tonight. The only thing I wanted to do tonight was that I have to check on the bunnies again, and I think I want to take a bath. Maybe when I get in from the barn, because I'm usually pretty chilly. So I think I'll go out in the barn by like 9:30 and then take a bath or something like that, but hi, it's 10:35. First and foremost, shout out to Rachel for letting me read the last hour over on FaceTime, absolutely crying my eyes out. I'm sure she has some god-awful pictures of me sobbing, ugly sobbing over this. I just finished Ugly Love. Five out of 5 stars, of course, because what else would it be? I don't even know right now. Like, I knew that there was gonna be something bad, obviously, that happened in the past, and I just wasn't expecting it to be so traumatic. It's the same thing with November 9. Like, I knew that something must have gone down. But then, like, when the scene actually happens, like, you are just so drowned in, like, sympathy and, like, hurt. It, like, made my stomach sink when I read it. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. Same thing with, like, November 9. Like, I was not prepared for that book to be as traumatic as it was. But this literally ended so beautifully. I'm a Colleen Hoover stan now. So now, I don't even know. My heart. Oh. Rachel's literally watched me cry over the entire thing. Damn, that was a good book. So, the only book left remaining on my TBR is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. My bookmark fell out. So I was originally thinking of doing a 24-hour readathon, but like I'm thinking about it and I don't really want to mess up my sleep schedule right before work again. So I think that I'm just gonna keep on trucking along and read what I can when I can, you know. We're officially at 9 books for this month already, guys, and that is like a record for me. I can't even remember last time I read this much. It's been insane. Wow. Emotional damage. Wow. For sure. Yeah. I don't even know. I'm like, so, okay. The reason I'm left so flustered at the end of Colleen Hoover books is because most of the action, like most of the climax happens when there's like 100 pages left in the book. So those last 100 pages are the biggest sucker punch in the gut you're ever gonna get. Because not only do you get the trauma, but then you also get like the closure and the beautiful ending at the end. And it's just like all so much that I just end up crying for 100 pages. And oh my God. Anywho, I think I'm just gonna keep it low-key tonight and watch some YouTube before I go to sleep. I think I might need some ice cream after that because that really hurt my heart for a bit, but it turned out really pretty. So, good night, guys. I will see you tomorrow for Tuesday, January 25th. Hey guys, so it is currently 10:30 on Tuesday, January 25th. So, I had an extremely rough night last night, health-wise. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I guess I will hopefully start getting some answers on Thursday morning. That also means I have to go through 2 more nights of this, so fingers crossed. So honestly, literally the only thing I want to do today is just sit in bed all day with a good book. The only thing I have to get done is to take care of the bunnies morning and night and tidy up my room a little bit. I might put in a small load of laundry just to get that out of the way. But yeah, so okay, here's something I wanted to share with you guys though. I was watching TikTok last night and I saw The Diviners by Libba Bright and I'm like, wait a minute, where the hell is my copy of The Diviners? I can't find that book anywhere. Like, did I unhaul it? Because that wouldn't make sense. I really liked that book. Like, do one of you guys, like, remember seeing it in one of my unhauls? Because, like, where the hell did that go? I was looking for it because I wanted to reread it. Because there's, like, 4 or 5 books in the series or something like that, and I've only read the first one. But it was really good. And now I'm, like, I've been looking on my shelves ever since I woke up, and I can't find it anywhere. Like, I do have some more good news though. I got a call this morning and I got the job. So I start on Monday. I'm going to be on the 2 to 11 shift. So I'm going to begin training on the subway side and then move over to the gas station side after about, like she said, like 2 weeks. So lots of changes happening right now. So here's the thing. Night Circus. Seems like a great book, but I, for some reason, have this blockage in my mind that I can only read it if I have the audiobook copy of it. And I'm sure that the physical reading is just as great, but I would really feel a lot more comfortable if I waited to like read along with it, because I don't know, there's just like a blockage with it in my mind. Hey guys, so it is 9:33 on Wednesday the 26th. So here's the sitch. After I finished Ugly Love, I was going to try to read Night Circus physically, but then I just decided that I wanted like the authentic experience. I wanted to hear the pronunciations properly. So I decided to wait for the audiobook to come through. And then I decided to substitute Night Circus for Wink Poppy Midnight on my TBR. But like these past couple days have just not been good for me on like my health wise. I've not been feeling the greatest. I haven't really been sleeping much. And I think that I just need to kind of call this vlog early, unfortunately. Had I been feeling better, I think that this would have been a very successful vlog where I could have finished my TBR again. Unfortunately, it's just not working out that way. I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow where hopefully I can start getting some answers. Start having better nights again, you know? However, I'm really excited for next week's TBR. So much to the point where I've already planned it. It's already all planned, so. Next week's TBR should be pretty exciting, and I think that I will actually be able to get something done for that. I do start my job next week though, so that's a little bit nerve-wracking. I was thinking about, that chilled my soul. I was debating on doing a 24 and 48 hour readathon like this weekend before I go back to work and get like one more readathon in. And it would also get like any remaining like reading done for the rest of January. So let me see. Yeah, I work on Monday the 31st, so maybe I could start on like 7. I don't know, we could do like 2 in the afternoon on Friday, and it would go to 2 in the afternoon on Sunday. So I'm actually considering doing that because I have no plans this weekend. My busiest day this week will be tomorrow, which is my doctor's appointment, and other than that, I might have a couple of plans and have to ship a couple of packages out. But that's something I'm seriously considering doing, because like then I wouldn't have to stay up all night, and also like it's just a whole weekend dedicated to reading before I go back to work. So maybe I'm gonna say maybe instead of doing another vlog right after I finish this one, I will hold off until I do that readathon and just use the TBR I have for the readathon. That's an idea. So I think I'm going to end this here. It's supposed to go until tomorrow, but I do have kind of a busy day, and I don't know how much I'll feel like vlogging, and I don't really foresee myself getting much done between now and then. So I'm just gonna end this here and do whatever editing I can tonight. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. In summary, this week we read Please Don't Go Before I Get Better by Madison Kuhn, which I gave a 3. Survive the Night by Riley Sagar, which I gave a 4, and Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, which I gave a 5. So it's been a pretty decent week. I look forward to the other weeks coming. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm in a book slump just because I didn't get into Night Circus and I didn't get into Wing Poppy Midnight. I just think that I have a very refined taste of what I want to be reading right now, and I need to not push my boundaries on things that I'm forcing myself to read. So I'm gonna wait it out for the audiobook. I don't think I'll have a problem with the audiobook. And yeah, so thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time for a brand new video.